You might be afraid of shark attacks or jellyfish stings, but there's an even greater threat lurking in the water you've probably never thought to be afraid of. Trash. An overwhelming amount of plastic waste is littering the world's oceans every year while gradually turning them into giant landfills. And it's a problem that is proving fatal to marine life and possibly even humans. In case you had any doubt about the sheer scale of this looming environmental crisis, let's take a quick look at some of the startling figures that prove just how much our oceans need saving. According to findings published in the Science Journal in 2015, between 4.8 to 12.7 million tons of plastic enter the world's oceans each year. The Australian nonprofit ocean advocacy organization 5 Gyres also estimated that year that the amount of trash that is accumulated worldwide totaled some 5.25 trillion pieces, equaling some 270,000 metric tons. A figure which is only set to increase if current plastic production trends continue. And it's not just the large pieces you can see, some 269,000 tons of trash floating on the surface, that pose a serious threat. Another study involving marine biologist Dr. Lucy Woodall found that about 4 billion microscopic fibers could be littering each square kilometer of deep-sea sediment around the world, something that had been previously undocumented in scientific literature. In 2016, a particularly damning report by the World Economic Forum and Ellen MacArthur Foundation estimated that, by 2050, our oceans will contain more plastic by weight than fish. As that terrifying reality draws even nearer, it's time to ask ourselves, is it too late to save our seas? The process of counting and estimating the vastness of ocean trash is a meticulous and time-consuming one. It took Marcus Ericsson, the co-founder of the 5 Gyres Institute, more than 4 years to come up with his estimate of 5.25 trillion pieces of debris, using samples gathered from 24 extensive survey trips around the world. During these expeditions, Ericsson collected anything from candy wrappers to giant balls of fish netting, even recording one from the Pacific Ocean that contained 89 different kinds of net and line, all wrapped around one 2-inch teddy bear. Plastic production has already quadrupled since the 1980s, and as wind, waves, and sun break all that plastic into tiny bits, they can be easily ingested by marine life, often leading to their untimely deaths. At least an estimated 267 species are affected by our mindlessly discarded plastic waste, including 44% of seabird species and 43% of marine mammal species. In August 2014, a 45-foot endangered female sea whale was even killed after ingesting a broken piece of a DVD case, something that was entirely preventable. One of the most badly affected species, however, are the world's beloved sea turtles, with a staggering 86% of all sea turtles now suffering greatly thanks to ever-increasing plastic pollution. According to WWF Australia, at least 1,000 turtles die each year from getting tangled in plastic waste, while 52% of all sea turtles have eaten microplastics after mistaking them for food. In the past couple of years, you may have seen this alarming photo circulating the internet. Perhaps you thought it was a terrible effort to Photoshop a turtle as if it were wearing a Victorian-style lady's corset, but the reality is far more sobering. In fact, this inspiring turtle is known as Mae West, so called after the fiery-tempered 1930s Hollywood starlet of the same name, and she's living proof of how one small piece of plastic can have disastrous impacts.
This turtle got caught in a milk jug ring, and here's what happened.
So she's since been named Mae West.
In 2007, co-founders of the 5 Gyres Institute, Marcus Ericsson and his wife Anna Cummins, first met this special alligator snapping turtle who was living in zookeeper Debbie Pearson's backyard in Louisiana. Some 19 years ago, as a tiny hatchling, Mae West had swum into a plastic milk jug ring which got stuck around her midsection. Because plastics are designed to last forever, her body was forced to grow around it, which resulted in an unusual hourglass shape. Even after the ring was cut off, the damage done to Mae West is irreversible. Her backbone has never grown normally, meaning she is able to flex in the middle, but that hasn't held her back so far. After Mae West was discovered and rescued from the drainage canals of New Orleans in 2007, Pearson took her into her care until Marcus and Anna decided to move her to somewhere where she could share her amazing story with the public.
Her name is Mae West, because of her skinny waist. And now she's going to the Star Eco Station in Los Angeles. This beautiful turtle has a new home. And this is why we do what we do, because all those poorly designed plastics, they have an impact on other life. They can cause lots of suffering to people on the planet.
In 2011, the pair began to facilitate a cross-country move for Mae West, and on July 5, 2015, she was taken to her new home at Star Eco Station in Culver City, California. Star is an environmental science museum and exotic wildlife rescue facility which hosts camps, visits, and mobile tours that give young people an opportunity to learn about and interact with endangered wildlife firsthand. Here, Mae West is expected to live a full and healthy life, while also teaching members of the public valuable lessons about the damaging impact of plastic pollution. Sadly, the type of deformity afflicting Mae West isn't as unique as you'd think. In fact, another internet-famous turtle named Peanut is often mistaken for her online because of his similar figure-8-shaped body. Peanut, a red-eared slider turtle, was discovered in Missouri in 1993 after he became entrapped in a plastic six-pack ring commonly sold with soda or beer. Because the packaging is so strong and long-lasting, he couldn't break through it as he grew in size. Peanut was taken to a zoo to have the plastic ring carefully removed, but like Mae West, his body will never recover from the years of torture he endured. Lacking the aerodynamic domed form of a regular turtle, Peanut would also have been especially vulnerable to attack from predators. In fact, according to Dan Zarlanga, a spokesperson for the Missouri Department of Conservation, if they hadn't been found by their kind-hearted rescuers, neither Peanut nor Mae West would likely have survived long in the wild. Surely, tragic cases like these should be enough to prove that a material as long-lasting as plastic should not be used for single-use packaging and products. And yet we continue to produce over 300 million tons of plastic each year, 50% of which is for single-use purposes only. Items like plastic bottles, bags, and cartons are used for a few fleeting moments before they're left to hang about on the planet for at least 400 years. One of the plastic products humans could certainly do without are plastic straws, which cause far more damage than you can imagine while slurping down your favorite beverage. A study published in 2018 found that as many as 8.3 billion straws now pollute the world's beaches, while about 500 million plastic straws are used in the US alone every single day. It may be hard to envision the repercussions of throwing away a single straw, but this unfortunate turtle should be enough to make you think twice. In June 2018, sea turtle expert Christine Figener and her research team came across this distressed olive ridley turtle with a strange object sticking out of its nostril during a research trip in Costa Rica. At first, they worried that it may be a sign that a parasitic worm had attached itself to the turtle's brain. As they got closer, though, they took a tiny cutting and soon realized that the alien object was actually a plastic drinking straw which was lodged inside the turtle's nose, making it almost impossible to breathe. Because the team were miles away from the coast and the nearest vet may not have been well equipped to deal with a sea turtle, Figener made the decision to carefully remove the straw. The team used a plier and a Swiss Army knife, the only tools available to them, to extract the 10 to 12 centimeter long plastic straw, and then disinfected the turtle's air passageway before releasing it back into the wild. Figener believes that the turtle likely swallowed the straw accidentally while ingesting other natural food items. In an effort to rid himself of the foreign object, the turtle then either expelled the straw with the redundant seawater through her nostrils or regurgitated it, causing it to end up in the wrong passageway. Had Figener and her team not spotted this struggling turtle that day, he probably would have been another statistic proving how fatal something as seemingly harmless as a straw can be. Now that we've seen how much damage plastic pollution is doing to marine life, let's ask ourselves what we can do to change our ways before it's too late. According to Australia's National Science Agency, CSIRO, an estimated 80% of ocean plastic comes not from marine sources like discarded fishing equipment, but from beach litter like plastic packaging that washes out to sea or is carried downstream in rivers. There's no reason why a single throwaway item like a milk jug ring should be made from a material designed to last forever. So it's time for big companies to step up and think of alternatives. In 2018, McDonald's vowed to ban plastic straws in its UK and Ireland restaurants in favor of paper ones, while many other retailers have focused on producing metal and glass straws that consumers can buy for repeated use. In another bid to end the cycle of single-use plastics, many beverage companies have started to rethink the classic six-pack ring packaging that poses such a threat to marine life like Peanut. In 2020, Coca-Cola and Budweiser beer will gradually roll out the keel clip design, which attaches a biodegradable paper lid to the top of cans, making them easier to carry. Heineken beer also vowed in 2019 to ditch plastic and shrink wrap packaging in favor of cardboard toppers, which they claim will remove 517 tons of plastic annually from the supply chain. Meanwhile, Saltwater Brewery in Florida is working alongside startup company E6PR to focus on a line of eco-friendly six-pack rings made from barley and wheat that can be safely digested by turtles and other marine life, rather than ensnaring them. There are endless ways companies can rethink their packaging and products to make them more eco-friendly. Finnish sustainable company Sulapak has launched plastic-free, wood-based biodegradable cosmetic containers, while Boxed Water is Better is championing an inventive way to eliminate single-use plastic bottles by using 100% recyclable boxes instead. In the fashion industry, Adidas's partnership with the environmental organization Parley for the Oceans has seen them creating products from salvaged plastic, like trainers made from filaments reclaimed from illegal deep-sea gill nets and other ocean waste. March 2019 saw a major step in the right direction when the European Union sealed a ban on all single-use plastics by 2021. Hopefully, the rest of the world won't be far behind. Although these new legislations are definitely promising, it's ultimately up to every single one of us to make simple changes in our lifestyle that will go a long way. First and foremost, that means making a conscious effort to reduce your consumption of single-use plastics. Try ditching any throwaway plastics you don't really need, like drinking straws, takeout containers, and water bottles, and carry reusable versions instead. In some high-street coffee shops, you can even get special rewards or discounts for bringing your own cup along. As it stands, the first global analysis of all plastics published in the journal Science Advances in 2018 has revealed that just 9% of plastic is recycled worldwide, while the vast majority is accumulating in landfills and the ocean. If we aren't careful, the amount of plastic entering our oceans will continue to increase at an alarming rate until it's too late. That means choosing recyclable materials is more important than ever in cutting down the amount of new plastic in circulation, which will keep it out of the water. It's easy to assume that once plastic enters the sea, it's no longer your problem, but that's definitely not the case. Scientists are also investigating the potential long-term health effects of plastic pollution caused by consuming microscopic plastic pollutants in fish and other marine life. Microplastics have already been found in 114 aquatic species, and more than half of those end up on our dinner plates, something which is an increasing concern for us humans. Plastic pollution is slowly crippling the Earth's vital ecosystems, and it's now up to us to try and stop it, so that turtles like Mae West and other creatures can live without fear of being mutilated or worse by human trash. After all, this isn't just a turtle's problem, it's everyone's problem, and it's time for us to step up and do something about it. Were you aware of just how damaging plastic pollution is to our oceans? And what do you think we can do to help turn the tables? Let me know in the comments below, and thanks for watching.